Welcome back to another episode of My Ultimate Iron Man. Last time, I took a little bit of a break from RuneScape, just a couple, 1, 2, 6 months. You know how it goes sometimes. But came back with a vengeance, a roaring vengeance, and we got 99 construction. Super, super useful. We got the construction cape that I'm only going to show you 1 second. You saw it there in the corner of the inventory. I don't want to show anything else because I may or may not have arbitrarily split up this video. So I am well ahead of most of the clips you are about to see, but that doesn't matter. We need an intro for this episode anyway. And what we're going to be doing is smithing. I figured we were spending lots of money with construction anyway. I have a big old cash stack. We had 91 mil when we started construction. We're a good chunk below that now, but still a millionaire by quite a few tens. That doesn't make any sense at all. But you know what I'm saying. We got lots of money still. And smithing is very, very easy. Planning on doing some Giants Foundry. They've made some updates to it too, which makes it that much just like, it's a little bit nicer than it was before, a little bit more forgiving. And it's great XP an hour, especially compared to, we were getting like 89, 90K at best construction XP an hour doing mahogany homes. And here we're going to be over triple that actually. It's really good. Actually, is it over triple? No, over double. Over double though. It's poking around triple, but not quite a triple of that. Triple would be asking for a lot. It's really, really good. I'm looking forward to it. And in my meantime, I've just been we're slowly Xing off the number of AFK things I can do. I was able to get in a decent AFK, I'll say in quotes, groove. Well, you get when you're woodcutting, it's AFK for mahogany homes, but since then we're kind of low on the list of skills we can actually train that we need 99s for still. So I've opted for doing minnow fishing, just trying to get source noted star sharks because we still only have 95 cooking. So at some point we'll need to get that. I've got loads of fish and just Tempoross stored right now. I just don't want to pull those because there's a bunch of other stuff we can get. So I'd rather wait until we know 100% how we're going to use those supplies. Back in the Giants Foundry after a long time. I think the last time I was here definitely was not 2 years ago, but that was the video of mine that I looked up to try and refresh my mind on the method that I use. And I was only going for 87 smithing. We're starting out at 94 now. We're like over halfway. Well, actually, no, we're almost halfway to 94. Getting a little ahead of myself. But after the 89K an hour max we were hitting with construction, it is very, very nice to see good old Giants Foundry 215 XP an hour. I've seen up to as high as 225. It just depends. It changes obviously with whenever you turn in your sword and stuff. That's when you get the big XP drop. So it's going pretty well. I had a stack of almost 400 myth bars from when I did Volcano for the crystal axe. So I'm using that now and then just buying Addy from Prif, but I will go back to being like the same method I used before where you buy myth and Addy. It's not very involved. There's so much information about Giants Foundry and spreadsheets and stuff online, and then at the end of the day it's just oh well, for us, if you're using myth and Addy, you want to make sure you're having 14 bars of each, and then plate bodies count for 4 bars, plate leg counts for 2, and then you just got to make sure you have the math right for all those things. And it looks a lot more complicated than it is. Basically, at the end of the day, what we're going to be doing is 3 plate bodies and 1 plate leg of both myth and Addy will be what we do per sword per run going forward. Once I run out these bars, it'll be a little bit more consuming just because right now it's a pretty nice flow of I think only I do 2 trips an hour right now with only having to buy Addy. So it's not that bad. That will go down a little bit once I have to buy myth, just because it's going to take just because we get less trips before we have to go and restock. Because right now I always have the teleport up for the mini game, so I never oh my god, I cannot. This is the easy part too. I have to make sure I click the right buttons here, so my brain just shuts down whenever I do these parts. But I have right now. It takes enough time that I only have to use I can always use the minigame teleport to get here, but I know for a fact that will not be how it works once we really get going with the method proper here. So just got to be aware of that. You're going to have to, at some point, you're going to have to tele somewhere else and run back. But thankfully, we got this construction cape that makes it super, super convenient to get around all over the game. I knew we were close, but we also are over 300 million total XP on the account. I think I say this every time I get a big XP milestone, but it's crazy to me that that's all we have, and then there are people that get 200 million in every single skill. Like, that is, I can't understand how people do that sometimes. These 99 grinds are long enough on their own. Kudos to you if you have 200 mil in any skill. Like, seriously, that's insane. Gotta make sure we get the music on for this one. Spoiler alert, you know what that means. Turn this bad boy in, and that, well, I'll take a new commission first, but then 95 smithing, rune battle axes. That's right, the smithing rewards are gonna be just the weirdest stuff out of this skill. Is in a desperate need of a rework. At least as far as like level up rewards go. I think the methods for leveling up are actually pretty nice, you know, hence me getting 220,000 XP an hour for not that much money, especially compared to construction. So, but it's just like there's nothing you can do with it. It's other than like a couple, you know, piecemeal, oh, end game upgrades. You need to have 75 smithing to make an Ellie or whatever it is. I was one spacebar press away from missing this, but I'm looking out for you guys. Well, I guess a couple spacebars, because I could have walked away. 96 smithing. Oh my gosh, rune chainmail bodies. I'm so excited. Oh, this is gonna be a sleepy level. It's almost my bedtime, but the gains don't stop for nothing. Hand this in, and that's 97. What do we make? Like rune longswords? Rune kite shields? No way, dude. Alright, I gotta put Jagex on blast. For too long, I've been quiet about this, and I was gonna be fine. I was gonna say, hey, you just gotta pay attention, but I hate the way that it works for adding in stuff. Of course, if you know for Giant's Foundry, you can use just bars, but you can also melt down pre-smithed items, and then you get a, not equivalent, but a certain amount of bars per item, instead of just using the noted bar, you know, bars yourself. You get a certain amount of bars back per item, and each, like, plate bodies give 4, I think everything else, like legs, give 2, stuff like that, just so you can get up to the same amount of 28 bars, in quotes, for each sword. But the interface for putting stuff in there is so freaking terrible. The default options are 1, 5, X, or all, and then if you choose X, there'll be an option for, like, whatever the next time X will be whatever you had before. But, like, it doesn't make any sense, because it's like you don't do even amounts usually. It's kind of hard, because there's a whole spreadsheet. I'm gonna throw a picture up right now just so you can see that it's annoying and too much to get into. But there's a big spreadsheet of like what the efficient, you know, best combinations of bars are, and it's like it would be like 14-14, but then, like, you know, for I guess UIM or special, you know, where I'm doing the plate body method where it's, you know, slightly more inventory efficient. So the less clicks and stuff like that, I do 4 myth plate bodies, 3 addy plate bodies. But why I'm complaining is because if you accidentally misclick on one of the 3 options that are there that you don't care about, that are always there, even though I never, ever, ever want to put in just 1, or 5 would be insane too. It's just crazy. But you misclick, it takes 10 years for the animation to happen, but you can't click out. So then I accidentally just said, oh, I put 5 addy plate bodies in, and then it just uses all of them. And then what's even worse is 5 addy and 2 myth is significantly worse than 4 myth, 3 addy, which is like, what? Why is higher quality materials worse? It's so crazy, and it's terrible, and I really do not understand why I can't just set like a mold of, oh, I want to click a button, or like right click, you know, use last set, and it'll just do the exact same, because I feel like no matter, I obviously, my example is very specific to UIM, and I know some people could say, oh, we'll just get over it, you know, you chose to limit yourself, which we did, but I feel like even like mains or irons doing this, like you're typically going to have, at least for a set chunk of time, oh, I want to do X of this item and X of this item, and it's not going to change. It's not like every other run you're changing what you're smithing or how many you're smithing. Like, I cannot believe there is not like a do last set of like, and just put all of them in there. It would be so much easier. It would be so much nicer, because it just completely, it's not even like it's like, oh, it's like the same of like, well, messing up once in the mini game, you can correct it later, or just one mistake. It's like, no, it sets you back for the, like, literally your entire run is just less points, less XP, and then sometimes even this, because now it brings it down to only having 5 blocks instead of 6 blocks for making the sword. So there's almost any of them can't be done in one sitting unless you get the, you know, perfect position thing. So it's just rant over. I'm sorry, I had to complain about something, and also I had to talk about something, because all we have is smithing levels. It goes too fast, but it's also, which is nice, but it's nothing happens. Like there's zero room for interesting things other than when you crash out and accidentally use too many supplies. Just finished up this last sword, and it's actually almost going to line up pretty nicely. I'm of course going to do my teleport away trick. 501 swords total done, and there's 98 smithing. Rune claws! Dude, no way! Oh, well, I am running it close to my bedtime, but I wanted to just push through and get it all done now. And with this last sword, it's going to be number 576 total. Gonna teleport to the POH for the big level. 99 smithing. Okay, I'm sure we can smith. Is there anything that you actually need 99 smithing for? Probably rune, I would guess. Rune 99. Okay, yeah, so plate body, plate legs, two-handers. So something could be, you know, if we get rune bars, craft them for alching and stuff like that. Not terrible. I think we can probably just go to Mud Skipper for the cape. I'm just guessing it's going to be Thurgo as the guy you get the smithing cape from. Unfortunately, the smithing cape, I think, is going to be like probably just not useful at all for us. The perks are like, it makes your coal bag hold like 12 more ore, maybe even not that much. And then it also acts as goldsmith gauntlets and maybe ice gauntlets, but don't quote. I know for sure goldsmith gauntlets. And so that would be like a blast furnace. You could have ice gauntlets and then do gold. That's what the wiki says. So there's at least like a little bit of benefit for some people, but for us, I don't think we're ever going to be wearing this thing, other than this one time. Of course, I'll pay you. Also, we did like just about 12.5 mil GP from, I think, 94 we started at to 99 smithing, so not too terrible. We get the smithing cape. It of course looks excellent with the smithing set. And then let's see, I actually don't know what the skill cape emote is for smithing. Giant anvil, I could have guessed, to make shears. Or is it just random stuff? Okay, that's actually a pretty cool one. I like that a lot. I know they recently, they did a thing, okay, I know you can loop some emotes, like you can do like loop star jumping and just keep doing it. That would be a cool one. It feels like this one is like custom made to be looped, but maybe that'll be for a future thing. I know some of them would probably be a little more annoying, but I could just see you setting up somewhere and just, you know, smithing for the aura. Okay. 260,000 minnows. I need to just call it now and stop, because I've been here for like 4 days just like doing nothing, and I just know it's going to be an endless loop of like, well, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And I was like, no, we're not actually getting anything. We have all the fishing XP we need. I need cooking XP. So now I'm going to transition to cooking all of these. Although I'll go ahead and try and finish off these last couple clues I have while I'm at it. Managed to get the hard clue. Let's see what we're rewarded with. Decent alks, can't complain. And then the elite, we only got, I think, like 1 or 2 steps, and then we got this bow in Fortis with any piece of Sunfire Fanatic armor. I was actually thinking like at some point maybe on the account of going for that. For Sunfire, just because I think it looks cool. It's a slight upgrade for Proselyte, which is like maybe we could use for Slayer, but you need the full set to be able to store it. Although we can store one piece, I assume, in the stash unit here. I don't know how that works, with which piece you do. So I think I might give that a try because it's not that rare from the earlier waves, and I can, again, I'd have to try it, but I could probably get to like wave 7, like 6 or 7 clearings consistently, in regular game mode. So I don't know. It's something to try for sure. But we got other stuff to do for sure. We're up to 16k sharks right now total. I can bind our stack, so I'm definitely gonna cook some of these just to see what we can. I'll probably try and cook like 6,000 of them just to see, what we get XP wise, and do a little bit of cooking because I don't want to go. There's other stuff we'd have to do first before I could just go in for combat stuff. So that would be like an episode or 2 diversion certainly. Okay, finally back towards actual concrete progress towards maxing. Got some cooking. I'm not going to cook all these sharks because I definitely want to have at least some, We're going to do some PVM on this account still before maxing, but I don't know. We'll maybe go to like 5k leave. I think that's probably a good amount. Sailing's coming out at some point too, so like even for future stuff on the account, there's going to be better food than shark. Now we'll be able to get them noted. I don't know. Anyway, I mainly just wanted to show off my drip. I actually quite like this. I wish I could have something underneath the apron, but since you have a golden apron and you're cooking, you got to wear the golden apron, and I just did my best to match the cooking gauntlets there. I think it's pretty neat. You guys want to hear something crazy? I think last year I made a comment in one of my videos that I had been addicted to Unturned, just like playing by myself, a game that was like 15 years old. Well, I've continued the trend of getting randomly super addicted to weird things. I've been playing Realm of the Mad God for this last week. There's 96 cooking, by the way, huge milestone. I've been playing Realm of the Mad God, a game which I just looked, my last achievement I got was in 2013, over 10 years ago. That's insane. And it's even crazier that it's actually like really fun, and I'm playing it. It's like really addicting. It sucks. It doesn't suck. It's fun, but it also does suck because I've been slacking on my AFK grinds. So we've only just now got 96. I'm curious if this will be enough to get me to a mill. I don't know. Can we do math real quick? Pause for math. Okay, that's more than enough for a mill. We have over 2 mil if we cook all the sharks. So I'll go to the next level for sure. And then someone suggested also sacred eels. Just like 10 minutes ago in one of my YouTube comments, they suggested sacred eels the potential for cooking AFK. I don't think it's huge, but it could be cooking XP and then eventually money if we were to, drop over the scales or something someday. So I might try that for the future, Although I feel like I've done sacred eels before, and you have to move around more than you'd think. So I don't know. Met this super cool guy, Binkle here, 97 cooking. I was at 97 smithing, but he's just been sitting here for like almost 2 hours picking up my my sharks. So I'm glad he can get it, and they're going to a good home. Met a new friend in RuneScape. 97 cooking, getting gains, and just good times all around. Been doing Zoro scales for a little bit, and it's chill. It's a little more collecting than I want just because the fishing spot moves so frequently. It's like still 28k cooking an hour, which is not. I mean, obviously it's pretty slow, but it's not like nothing. It's decent, and you get like I've been here for a couple hours. I started with 2,000 bait, so you can maybe do the math there. But we've got 1.5 mil worth of Zora scales, so at least you're making a little bit of money, in the meantime. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and move on to get my Tempoross stuff because it's just, I would say cooking, big banking and cooking noted fish is just as equally AFK as this, and we would just get so much more XP an hour doing that. So it was fun to come back here again. This is nice to know, like this can always be here as, money or Zora scales if I need it for stuff, but I am I'm too impatient for that. I got big plans after cooking. Here's a look at the Tempoross log so far up to now. 615 reward permanents. We've got everything except the harpoon, kind of obviously, and then the tackle box, which I'm hoping to get right now. I don't know why I thought I had like 3,000 because we only have 430, but either way, we'll burn through these. And there, well, there's the tackle box right off the bat. So maybe we'll get a dragon harpoon, but I'm not holding out hope. It would be cool though, a nice green log. Well, this is what I got as far as food goes. Oh, that llama pet looks so cool. That's what I got as far as food goes. A little less than I was expecting. I don't know why I was really expecting to get like a ton, but it's still decent. I feel pretty confident this will probably get us until pretty close to 98, if not at 98. 99 though, we might have to burn the rest of our sharks, which honestly I'd probably be willing to do at this point. If I do PVM, I can just go and fish more if I really need them. Well, I ended up using everything except the manta rays and the turtles from Tempoross, and it only got me to like 80, 75% of 97. So I decided to finish off. There's 98 with my the rest of my shark stack, and then this would be enough. It's like just under 6K, I think, is 1.2 mil. 5,000 something or other. I looked it up yesterday, and I am going to go cook those, the sea turtles and manta rays I just wanted to wait because you can't, even if you're at Hosidius, I think even with like it's 96% like cook rate is what you have, because cooking, like the cooking gauntlets don't work on the higher tier fish. So just wanted to maximize my chances of cooking them and getting XP. I'm still planning on dropping them anyway, but then I am probably just going to stick through and use the rest of these sharks. We'll still have at least 1,000, I think, ish, I estimate, left over. So a little bit for PVM, and then of course it's not that bad to go, fish more minnows if I have to. I think I've done my math just right with the amount of raw sharks I have left. I had to go a little further than I thought. I think I said I had like 2K sharks left, but after cooking the mantas and the turtles, which only you get 210 per shark. Mantas are 218 and turtles are 212. Like, I'm really surprised they're that low, comparatively, considering that, you get, I'm going to reset my left click just so I don't, die when I need to. But seeing how, you can still burn them up to even with 99 and no cape, you only have like a 96% chance to cook them. So, pretty high, but still, like the chance that they can be burnt, unlike sharks, you can stop burning at 94 with cooking gauntlets. Like, it's really like crazy to me to think how they could get away with like, being like, oh, only like 2%, or not even percent, like 2 more XP, like and they heal more too. Which just doesn't feel equivalent, but I don't know. I'm not complaining. We got there, still have 1,100 sharks just over to use for our PVM adventures, which I think will be just fine for what I've got planned. And of course, it's not going to be that hard to get more if we need them. Oh, are they going to let me in the Cook's Guild without a cook cape, even though I'm 99? Can I be like, buddy, you can't come unless you're wearing a chef hat or something like that? Dude, oh my god, I just got the 99! I got my stupid Varrock plate body, let me in. Hello, head chef. I'd like, wait, what? Yes, please? Can I buy a skill cape of cooking? Yeah, no, I have money. Make the default option, yes. Yes, please, and then sure. I don't know why I always think it's 1 mil for for a cape. It's 99K. I don't know why I think it's a mil. But there is the cooking cape. Put it on, and only bonus from this, I think most people know, can't burn anything with the cooking cape equipped. So pretty useful for like anglers and mantas and turtles and stuff like that. Could see some use for us on their account, although I'd be a little surprised with this account if we ever need that. Emote, I think, is throwing a pizza, if I can remember where the freaking emote wheel is. There it is in this game. I'm 90% certain it's a pizza. Okay, that's more like a pie? What is that? That's just, oh, okay, just flipping thing. Okay, again, this would be another emote that would be great if you could loop it. Same deal as the smithing emote. That'd be really cool to just sit there and keep slinging things. But anyway, there's another 99 knocked out on the account, and we get our first full column of 99s done. Of course, this is the easiest because, there's one less in this column. Soon, I guess sailing will be there. Have they done a mock-up of what it's going to look like with sailing in here? Are they going to have like total level just like down here on the bottom and make all these like a little smaller? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But yes, another 99. I think our second 99 for this episode. I don't remember. I think we got smithing this episode. I don't remember. It's been too long. Too much has happened since then. But I think I'm gonna call this one here. Certainly. Next time, what are we doing next time? If you've made it this far, I want to take off. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much. I've been really making some gains on this account. I feel not even feeling a hint of burnout coming my way. I feel good about taking this one all the way to the bank. The bank is pretty funny for a UIM. But I think next time I want to do a little more skilling before I go into PVM, although I do have that elite clue. I want to do like a little mini Coliseum grind to at least get a piece of the prayer armor, proselyte, sunfire, that's what it's called. But I do kind of want to, like, I'm pretty close to a crafting level. Maybe I'll do a little bit of, I think I'll do a little light blowing. And the next time you see me, I'll be blowing some glass into little round things and dropping them on the ground for sure. I want to get a taste for that. And I also maybe want to try out a little bit of herb lore. Maybe we'll get herb lore to 92 just to officially get halfway on that before fully committing. I need to figure out what that's going to look like. I'm planning on doing mixology, but mixology is like really boring and pretty slow, I think. So I don't know. Gotta do lots of thinking. For now, the video's over. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.